Yes, and a very good morning and welcome along to the Celtics Westport Sydney Morning Sports a breakfast show. Another great weekend coming up here on our best coast. Well, hey, we've got a few people to talk to this morning, but it's not often that your guests, you get to wave to them about 6:10 in the morning as they're heading off, and then you get to talk to them about an hour later. He's up in Wellington from the world of bridge. Good morning, Ray Kernow.
Morning, Barry. Good morning, listeners.
Yeah, I did give you...
We've just made it. Just walked across the tarmac as we talk, actually.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I did give you and Phil a wave as you took off from Westport this morning. I heard you heading away, so I knew you were going to have a great flight. But a big weekend this weekend for yourselves.
Yeah, that's right, Barry. It's the New Zealand Bridge InterProvincial Championships hosted in Wellington this year. So all 7 of the bridge provinces will be competing across four grades. There's the open grade, the seniors grade. Phil and I are in that. That's the over 60s, the women's grade, and the intermediate grade. And we have a couple of representatives from the Westport Club, Wayne Smith and Val Mundy, representing Top of the South in the intermediate grade. So yeah, the InterProvincial's a big feature on the New Zealand Bridge calendar. Actually been going since 1967, so by my calculations this might make this about the 51st year of competition. Started off just as an open event, but over the years they added these other sections. We compete for a trophy, the Dougal MacLean trophy, which is a sort of, it's based on the aggregate across the 4 sections. The current holders of that are Wellington. I can tell you, Barry, Top of the South have never won it. In fact, I believe that Top of the South have only ever won one competition, and that was the seniors competition a few years ago. But as most listeners are aware, Top of the South is the newest province in New Zealand Bridge, and to a certain extent, still battling to make our mark. Maybe this will be the year.
Well, hey, look, unless you're there, you can't win, and you guys are there.
We're here, yeah, and I might add, by the way, Top of the South is up against Otago in the first round. I was talking to Wayne. Wayne is the captain of the intermediate team, talking to him on the flight over, and he's been doing a bit of homework. He reckons there's a couple of rising stars in that Otago team. Only been playing for a couple of years and already got up to provincial representative status, so it's going to be an interesting match in the intermediate section. Of course, Wayne is a little bit of a rising star himself, so that's going to be an interesting one. As for the other grades up against Otago, it's going to be interesting. I would pick that our open team will have a real battle on their hands. Seniors and women could be interesting, could be about 50-50 going into that first clash.
So it's overall points you play in each grade, and then the points are all put together and you get an aggregate?
Yeah, so there's an award in each grade, and then the aggregated points across the 4 grades go for the Dougal MacLean trophy. It's a double round robin, Barry, so there'll be 14 rounds, but of course within each round one of the provinces has a bye. Because obviously there's an odd number of provinces, there's 7 provinces in New Zealand Bridge. So a lot of bridge to be played, starting I think around about 11 o'clock this morning, and we'll finish at about 1 p.m. on Monday. So looking forward to that. Lots of bridge.
And then time for a little bit of shopping. Ha ha.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, don't know about that.
You guys are just coming off quite a big weekend last weekend.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just mention that briefly, Barry. The tournament, NBS Westport Pairs tournament, the favourites won, John and James Skipper. They actually won by a huge margin. They average, and this is a massive average, 69.48% across the 2 sessions, which gave them a big margin of victory over another Canterbury pair, actually, Max Robb and Jeff Norris. That's something of a new partnership, and they did very, and they were sort of dark horses too. I don't think we didn't really talk about them on the show last Saturday morning, but they were thereabouts and finished up in second place. So they've got some, the real potential there for that partnership. third place a Nelson pair, Sheila Beggs and Carol Minchin, and they are in the top of the South team competing in the provincials today. I'll just go down the list there, mention a couple of local pairs. Sue Glue and Michelle Gunn, they play under the Westport banner, but actually live in Greymouth. They came ninth overall and won their grade. And I've got to say, Barry, that is a phenomenal performance. And this pair of relatively young women, Sue and Michelle, have a great future in the game. And just one place below them was Gary Howard and Jill Island, and they won their grade, the club's grade. So very good performance. I'm going to say that might be just about the best tournament performance that Gary and Jill have put in. So a little bit further down, Val and Wayne in 13th place, so that's good preparation for the InterProvincials. And another local player, Michelle Ritchie, playing with her mother, Pat, from the Kokoda Club. Someone's just a moment, Barry. No. Someone just tried to walk off with my bag. They thought I was an outgoing passenger, not an incoming passenger. So that was a good tournament. As we said, a very full field, and we surveyed the players at the end of the day, and all are very keen to come back to the equivalent tournament next year.
It'd have nothing to do with the whitebait, would it?
Oh, the whitebait was in abundance. Yeah, very popular whitebait. Of course, we can't quite guarantee the same supply of whitebait for next year, can we?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. But it's always a promise.
Unless you can. I don't think I can, but you might be able to.
No, that won't be happening either. I do enjoy whitebait very much.
Yeah. So I think I'm probably not going to have time to talk about club play this week, Barry. So we'll catch up. We'll catch up and talk about that next Saturday morning. We've got a couple of series that will come to an end next week. I think I've got a feeling that people are waiting for me, and I better keep moving.
All right. Well, hey, thanks very much for taking that time out, getting literally off the plane and pulling your phone out of your pocket. But if you wouldn't mind passing on to Phil a message for yourself and Phil after last weekend. Lynn has had a real breakdown, and Dave has had to give her the weekend off, send her away. There's no way she could get into the studio again this morning, having to face up to me. She didn't know what was going to happen. So, I do have to put up with that. Yeah, so look, just tell Phil he really has upset our dear Lynn. She's been a nervous wreck all week. And
well, I was listening in yesterday morning, and I heard. I think Lynn was one of these people on the breakfast program yesterday, trying out evil laughs.
No, that's natural. That is purely natural.
That's natural, is it?
That is purely natural. No. Right. She really has had a bad breakdown, so we've had to send her away for the weekend. So if you just mention that to Phil, be excellent. And best of luck.
I'll pass that news on to Phil.
Good on you.
Thanks very much, Barry.
May the cards go with you. May the cards go with you. Talk next week.
Thank you.
Okay, Ray Curnow there. Up in Wellington, yes, I've just literally hit the deck. And they are there for the National Provincial Championships. It's going to be a big weekend for their sport.